gonna put on my Jenna Marbles necklace.
Okay, hello, it's Echo, just in case you're new here. It's been a while. I just want to jump on here for a sec because I'm working on a different video drawing people as Bluey characters and stuff. This is an art channel in general, but also it's my channel, and I want to talk about things that are in my brain at this moment. One of them being the whole situation between JJJacksfilms and SSSniperwolf. Most likely you know at least one of these people if you spend a lot of time on YouTube. JJJacksfilms is a person who's been on this platform since, like, the inception of YouTube. He has been here since, like, 2006. SSniperwolf is a woman who makes reaction videos and more than 33 million subscribers. If you're on the younger side or you have like nieces or potentially nephews, you probably know who SSniperwolf is. I have nieces who watch her videos, my sister used to watch her videos, and right now there's kind of a situation happening between these two creators because of the way that SSniperwolf makes her content. So this isn't necessarily a new thing for JJJacksfilms. He has taken down huge React channels multiple times in the past. He does a very good job at critiquing them, but SSniperwolf is a very interesting case because she's gotten so far with what she does. If you don't know who SSniperwolf is, her videos are mostly just reacting to TikToks, and I use reacting very lightly because I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think that in a court of law they would meet the minimum definition of transformative. So really in this situation what I want to talk about is copyright law and the way that a bunch of people right now are not understanding like what is transformative and how fair use actually works. That being said, my bachelor's degree is in graphic design, so I am educated on a surface level about copyright law and trademark law and contract law because I need to know those things when I'm in the field of graphic design. And a lot of those things do also apply to the career path that I have chosen, which is content creation. So although I have a surface level understanding of the topics, that is slightly more than I would say the average person has. So just in case you didn't know, fair use covers the ability to use other people's copyrighted material, another person's intellectual property, in something that you are making, whether it's for commercial purposes or not, if it falls under these categories. So if there was a scene from a Disney movie or something that I thought was unethical and I wanted to show it as an example to explain why I think it's unethical and why it's wrong and criticize it, that would fall under fair use. Disney cannot escape criticism just because they have a stranglehold on the copyright system. However, if I just wanted to like include a background track that's from Disney and I'm not saying anything about it, I'm just using their intellectual property to enhance my own, that's not fair use. That's stealing intellectual property that is not mine, that I don't have license to. But if I reached out to a company and I got their permission, if I like set up a contract with them, if I set an agreement, then with their permission, because they own the intellectual property, then I could put that music or image or whatever in my video. So JJJacksfilms has been making videos almost every day criticizing SSniperwolf's content for being lazy for the most part, and for, you know, all of the like not great practices that she uses in her videos. Criticism is covered under fair use. That's why it's okay for Jack to use SSniperwolf's videos in his content, but it's not okay for SSniperwolf to include tons of people's TikToks. SSniperwolf's main thing right now that she does is that she uploads videos near daily reacting to TikToks, which in and of itself isn't bad. It's not the fact that she's using other people's content in her video, it's the way that she's using that content. As weird as it seems, JJJacksfilms is using her content ethically, or at least legally, in my opinion. Another commonly protected form of like using copyrighted content is parody. Parody is protected under fair use. Making fun of something is protected usage. But you can't just take someone else's intellectual property and use it for your own benefit. One of the cases that we went over was Jeff Koons versus Rogers, I think is what it is. It was an infamous case of an artist who made a sculpture that was based on a photo that he did not have the rights to. The person who owned the photo sued the sculpture for creating a work that, you know, infringed on the other person's intellectual property rights. The sculptor tried to say that no, this was a parody of the original photo, and he lost because, at least in my understanding, the sculpture says nothing. Nothing is being said in this sculpture. You can't just take inspiration from whatever media you find and turn it into your own, depending on specific circumstances. I think copyright protections around sampling might be slightly different, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't know much about the music industry. My knowledge lies in the visual realm. Another thing that our professor tried very hard to drill into our brains is that there is no magical percentage when it comes to a work being transformative. Meaning that if you take someone else's intellectual property and it makes up 10%, 30% of whatever the final product is, it's still violating copyright law. When it comes to Sniperwolf, the real value of what she does is content curation. It's like an art curator. An art curator will find a bunch of artists and maybe set up a gallery and then work to sell all of those artists' work for a commission. That being said, she is a very unethical content curator for a whole host of reasons. The biggest one in my mind is that she oftentimes doesn't credit the people whose videos she's stealing. And she is stealing these videos. The people who own the intellectual property that she's putting in her videos oftentimes have no idea. Jack has reached out to multiple creators who have been in her videos, and they've said that they had no idea they were even in her videos, which means that not only is she not getting permission from the actual intellectual property owners, those people, on top of often not being credited, are not being compensated. That is not how you ethically curate. If you're going to be a content curator, an art curator, the people that you're putting in your collection to share with people have to know about it. It's really unethical the way that she has made millions of dollars off of the backs of content creators, people who are actually making things that aren't seeing the benefits that she is. I would not be surprised if a copyright lawyer wanted to take on this case as a class action lawsuit, because it would be such an easy case to win. And we all know why she's not reaching out to these people to get permission to use their videos. It's because it would take so long and cost so much money that she wouldn't be able to post videos every single day. So have in mind she's watching maybe like 20 TikToks per video. If she had to reach out to 20 individual account holders and then wait for them to get back to her and figure out a way to give them portions of the ad revenue, she would not be uploading a video a day. The only way that she can keep this up is by taking intellectual property without the permission of the people who made it. I think it's important to talk about this because this kind of behavior really shouldn't be excusable on this platform. I really feel like she needs to sit down with her lawyers, and her lawyers need to explain to her how she can elevate her content to the point of actually being transformative. She needs to either get permission from those people, or she needs to actually work on adding more thoughtful commentary that would allow her videos to fall under fair use. Because right now I really feel like they don't. I feel like she's walking a razor's edge between millions of dollars and a massive class action lawsuit. Whether or not an individual piece of content or video is transformative would have to be settled in a court of law, but my understanding is that the main deciding factor is the function of the video, the purpose of the content. Why is it that people are watching it? Are they specifically watching it to see your thoughts, or are they just watching it to see whatever you're watching? Reactionary videos on YouTube can be done well. They can be done correctly, they can be done ethically. If you want an example of ethically doing React content, JoCat has uploaded a couple videos on his side channel that kind of show better examples of how you should edit around the content you're reviewing. Although I will say one thing that I kind of disagree with Jack about, and that's in his like Sniperwolf bingo thing. He calls her out for unnecessary tangents. I think the tangents are fine because that's original content. That's like, even if you don't like them, even if you don't relate to them because they feel boring or whatever, even if they're out of left field, that's original. I think putting them in a list with all of the bad stuff that Sniperwolf does makes it feel like that aspect is being criticized, but I think Jack would agree that the tangents, as far as the ethics and the way that she creates her content, those are good. If she watched one TikTok and then just had a whole video of tangents about thoughts she had and how it influenced her or what she thought of when she saw it, that would be original video. That would be original content. Are people going to watch that? Probably not, because they're not watching it for her opinions or her tangents or her life stories. They're watching her videos because they want to see what TikToks she unethically curated for them. I just wanted to jump on here and say that there are ways that you can ethically curate content, and I think what Jack is doing is okay because he's just criticizing someone who is doing something that is kind of unethical, and I think she can do better. Also because I feel like she's gonna get herself in trouble if she keeps doing this. Also, another reason that I think Jack is right in this is because he's not making this about her looks, her gender. He's not making this about anything that would be considered bullying. It's just about the way that she curates content, and I think that's fair criticism. If you watch Sniperwolf, I get it. Content curation is a service, and she does it very quickly. Like, art curator is a job for a reason. In my opinion, she's just doing it wrong, but I understand why people would watch her content. I'm not going to judge you if you watch her videos. I'm just saying to try and be conscious of the overall effect that this creator is having on the platform and other content creators across the internet. I'm not a fan. Just not generally a fan. Even if you disagree with me generally about Sniperwolf and the way that she makes content, you probably agree with me that the people she is taking TikToks from deserve to be paid. They deserve fair compensation for being the ones who originally make the videos, because without those people, Sniperwolf doesn't exist. But thank you for letting me throw my 2 cents out on the internet. You don't have to, like, agree with me on any of this. I'd love to hear your, like, opinions down in the comments. Also, because I need to make a living, I've been making these things that I call special spoons. They're available on my website. It's a fancy drink spoon. These are all worm on a string on a spoon. They're all different. This one is very sexy. And then I'm also finishing a handful of these mushroom ones. They're not done yet, but they should be by the time this video goes live. So if you want a fancy special spoon to use in your morning coffee or tea, you can get them on my website, echoisweird.shop. They're so cute for all the cottagecore girlies. This is all I have for you. Thank you for listening to my random 2 cents that I wanted to throw out onto the internet. I will give you 200 awesome points for making it all the way to the end of this rambly mess. And hopefully I will see you later. Goodbye.